Welcome back, everybody. I'm Tassie with Tassie Eats, and today I'm having spaghetti with my homemade meatballs, and I also got some garlic bread. Now, before we get started, I just wanted to do a huge shout out. She's been asking me for a few videos, and you know, my videos are actually pre-recorded, so everything that you guys see, it is like a couple days before it actually gets released. With my editing time and my busy life schedule, I have to get these done in advance. So I want to do a shout out to Miss Queen Vashista. I believe that is how I pronounce your name. And I want to do a huge shout out to you. I know that you're always watching my videos and I definitely appreciate it. So I want to do a big shout out to you. Now for the meal. With spaghetti, I'm not a huge spaghetti fan. And I think the reason for that is my ex, he ate spaghetti all the damn time. I hated it. It got to the point where I was eating it so much. And so whenever I do have spaghetti, because sometimes, you know, I will eat it, but I like to put a lot of cheese in my spaghetti. So there is like a huge layer of mozzarella in here. So there's like mozzarella mixed in with my noodles, you know. And this is really hot. I literally just made it. But my meatballs, what I typically do whenever I make my homemade meatballs is that I'll do like tons of it, like 7 pounds of beef. And then I will freeze them. So then whenever I want them, I just take them out and I just heat it up and eat it. Oh, and I'm going to put some ghost pepper in here. And the garlic bread I bought. I did not make the garlic bread. All right. And like, I didn't make my own pasta. And the sauce is just from a jar. I also did not make the sauce. I do have a recipe for the sauce, but that was actually already served at another event. So I just grabbed a jar of this. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Oh my God. Ah! It's like really hot. It's steaming. That's mozzarella. I love cheese in this. Because I'm more of a like a cream sauce based kind of a person. I love things, or even like the butter, you know, so like I love cream based, but it's really funny because like people who aren't used to eating like really rich types of pasta dishes, like Alfredo and stuff, it can be a bit much for them. Whereas the tomato and meat base, it's easier for their palate. Oh, And I do really love buttered noodles. A couple years back, I went up to my girlfriend, her parents' cabin up north in Minnesota, and for breakfast, what was it, dinner? I think it was part of dinner. Her mom made her buttered noodles. And it was so ridiculously good. It's like the ribbons. And you just fry it in butter. And so part of it gets really crunchy, but yet it's still chewy. It was so good. And I think for me, it was like such a big deal because like I didn't grow up eating that. And so to them, they were just like, just buttered noodles, Tassie. But it's really, really good. But even my girlfriend agrees. She loves her mom's buttered noodles. It's super, super good. I remember I made it for my brother once. And he ended up really liking it too. This cheese garlic bread. So I had my family's Thanksgiving. I had it this past weekend. And for the first time in my life, okay, so like, you know how there's that term hangry, where you're like so hungry you get angry? And like, I read this article that apparently it's proven that you get angry when you're hungry because your like blood sugar levels, they drop. And then like it messes up with like, you know, everything else. And so, so I get hangry quite often. A lot of times before I'm about to start arguing with my boyfriend, I ask myself, are you just hungry? So a lot of times I'll eat before I'll even say anything about the argument. And then I feel completely fine. So I'm like, okay, I was just hungry. But for the first time, I discovered that I can get full and angry. All right. And I think a part of it was I was so full, I was getting tired and I was getting cranky. So, how old are you, Tassie? So, like, it was nap time for me, and I was really full, and I had a lot of food. And I'm sitting down because I brought desserts. And I told my boyfriend that I was going to have a piece of my pie before we leave. I had to have it because I was so full and we had so much food anyways. I'm sitting at the table, tons of people everywhere, and I'm eating my pie. My sister, she kept asking me like, oh, you know, Tassie, get up, let's take a photo. And literally, like, my back is to her. I'm not even looking at her. And my boyfriend, he's sitting right next to me. And I was like, and I seriously said, can't you see I'm eating my pie right now? And then she was like, oh, I'm sorry. Can I not disturb you during your pie time? And I was like, no, you can't. You know, because I was, like, really angry. And it was because I was so full and I was tired. I also get angry when I'm tired. Jeez. But anyway, so, like, and so, like, finally I get up, you know, and I take the photo with them. And I'm just, like, I was getting, like, really grumpy. And I was just, you know, I just want to, like, sit down and be left alone, you know. So, eventually we left. And I felt better after I took a nap. I felt a lot better after I took a nap. Now, I don't know if that's ever happened to you guys. If you ever got full and you ended up getting grumpy because you want to be left alone. You want to relax. I think that was the first time that it's ever happened to me. They have so much food. So many people. The only turkey I ate, because I'm not big on turkey, I ended up eating the turkey skin. I do love eating the turkey neck. I didn't see it though. Well, I really didn't look for it because there was just so much food to eat. And I made more pasta than I was expecting. So on my Facebook page, I posted this meme. And it was like, it asks you, at what age do you learn to cook enough pasta for just one person versus a whole village? And I was like, oh, when I was 31, that's when I learned not to cook such huge portions of pasta. Because when it's dry, you're kind of looking at it in your hand, and you're like, that's not enough pasta for me. And then you just keep adding. And then all of a sudden it's cooked, and you're like, holy shit, that's a lot of pasta. It's kind of what happened. So, you know, maybe I haven't mastered that yet. But if you haven't already, you should check out my Facebook for Tassie Eats. Sometimes I'll post, like, the meals I'm having that I can't record. I go out to a lot of restaurants and I eat a lot of food. And so, you'll also get, like, previews of upcoming episodes. Woo! So much pasta. And I have an Instagram too. The only problem is, like, you know, When Instagram started, I didn't understand the concept of it. I was like, this is exactly the same as Facebook. You do the exact same things. And everybody's like, oh no, you just post photos though. And I'm like, you could do that on Facebook. And so, yeah, I never really fully integrated into Instagram. I'm slowly trying to. I'm always reminding myself to. So sometimes I'll post all these things onto my Tassie Eats Facebook, and I have to remind myself to go to my Instagram and do it too. Because some people, they only go on Instagram, you know, they don't do Facebook. And the meatballs, you guys don't have to make it as big as I did. Yeah, I was making like 7 pounds of it. So it was like, it got bigger and bigger. Honestly, I can't believe that it's gonna be Thanksgiving already. I just don't feel like it's Thanksgiving yet. I feel like the month just flew by. And I think because I was just so busy. So I felt like everything just went by so fast. And it's like already gonna be Thanksgiving. And it's like, even though I've been going to Thanksgiving events, I felt more like they were just kind of like big gatherings and meals, you know? Oh, which reminds me, all of your turkeys should be in the fridge, but also, or brining by now, you guys. I know like a lot of restaurants, they're open these days because people will go to the restaurants to eat for Thanksgiving now. And I think a part of it is because, you know, families just aren't as huge as they used to be anymore. And also nobody wants to do a huge meal and then all go shopping at the end of the day. You know, it's just a lot to ask of somebody. Oh, excuse me. I'm used to that. That is the tradition of my Thanksgiving, which is to be exhausted. You wake up really early, you prep all this food, you serve and you entertain, and then you go shopping. And that is always what I do. So I'm just like, if I don't do that, I'm sitting around like, I feel like I'm forgetting something, or I feel like kind of anxious because I'm not used to it. So like last year with my boyfriend's family, we did Thanksgiving. It was like so calming and relaxing. And I fried egg rolls. And I kid you guys not, everybody asked me, why are you making egg rolls? Like, they were like, you know, we love it. You know, like, they love my egg rolls. But they were like, it doesn't really go with the rest of the meal. And I remember I was, like, stomping my feet. And I was like, I'm Asian, damn it. We're having egg rolls. So we had egg rolls. And everybody loved it. I made a lot of egg rolls, huh? I was like, Asians, for some reason, a birthday, a holiday, a big gathering event, we always make egg rolls. So I'm like, you know, your tradition is your turkey, which is also my tradition. But anyways, I'm pulling the Asian card. We are getting egg rolls on this table. I don't care what anybody has to say about it. Oh. But my whole story, I originally started with the idea. It's about my nieces. So my 2 older sisters, they both got pregnant around the same time. It was really weird because they each had 3 kids. Years passed, and then bam, they both got pregnant at the same time. And everybody was like, what? You guys are having another kid? So each of them had 4 kids each, right? And I'm never going to win Auntie of the Year award, okay? I am that aunt who is typically hungover at events. I'll probably find alcohol at the event. You know, that is who I am. You know, like, I'm kind of crazy. I'm kind of out there. And so I don't have children of my own, and I don't plan on having children of my own. So I have a certain lifestyle that I live that's not really, like, family-centric, you know, so I don't see my nieces and nephews often. Now, my two sisters, though, their baby shower, I was helping to host, and I was hungover. I ended up taking a nap in the back during the gift opening parts, okay? And when I woke up, everybody was ready cleaning. So, you know, like, I'm not going to give that sister award either. It's like I'm there if you need me, but I'm not always going to be around at every event. And so, but my nieces, they're both named Violet. Not both named at the same thing, but they both start with a V. Their names start with a V. It's Violet and Valerie. And a lot of times, if I see them, I can't remember which is which, because they're literally like a couple months away, only like 1 to 2 months apart. So I'm kind of like, oh man. So what I've been doing is saying V. I'll be like, V, come here, V. Or else what ends up happening is I'll look at them and I'll be like, Violet. It's just, I just don't, they're Valerie and Violet. They both look alike and they're both like the same size, and you're just like, which one are you? So, anyways, for sure, Valerie. Okay, Valerie, she is super, super cute. They both are, but I like to like make pranks. I like to do pranks with kids where they end up crying. And so with Valerie, you know, one time we went out to dinner. She loves people. You know, she's not those kind of people who like is really picky on who's around her. She really likes to be around anybody, and she's really friendly and upbeat. And so I told her after dinner, we're walking back to our car, and I told her to come to me so I can hug her. So she just jumped into my arm. I'm holding her. She's having a great time. And I tell her, say goodbye to your parents. I'm going to take you home now. So I try to kidnap her, or pretend to kidnap her. And she like was bawling her head off. She was probably like 1.5 at this time. She was just bawling her head off. And you know, to everybody else, it's a joke, you know. So, but after that, she didn't forget it. Mm-hmm. So she didn't forget it. And so she always, like, what she started doing was she would ignore me. Like, she'll be right in front of me. I'll be talking to her. And she just, like, won't even look at me. She just, like, stares away or looks away. And to her, she pretends I'm not there. She's really, really good at doing it. And, like, she'll be totally, like, bouncing and dancing. And then as soon as I come to her, she'll just, like, she shuts down. I'm just like, oh, my God. But during Thanksgiving, I waved to her and I smiled. And she waved and smiled back. And she came near me. You know, she didn't touch me, but she came near me. And I did talk a little bit to her. And she acknowledged I was talking to her. So I was like, oh, my God, we're making progress. Now, Violet is kind of like polar opposites of Valerie. Valerie loves to like talk and be with everybody, and she's really friendly, right? Not so much Violet. Violet prefers just her mom or her dad. I've never heard her talk to any other person besides her mom or dad or one of her immediate siblings. Whenever I talk to her, she can talk, but whenever I talk to her, she would like ignore me, and so and she would just cry for her mom or dad. But then that day, you know, like I was waving to her to come to me, and like she came. I showed her all these toys to play with, and she talked to me, and I was like, oh my God, like what's going on here? So that was really nice. With Violet, I've never played any pranks on her because she's always really suspicious kind of fella. Like where she's always like, what do you want? Who is this stranger? What are you doing here? Why are you close to me? Mm-hmm. My coworker's like, of course they're going to be traumatized by you, Tassie. Like, you tried to kidnap her. I was like, it wasn't real. And she was like, And she's like, not to them, it was very real. I totally just ate the cheese. I'm full, you guys. Alright. And again, I hope everybody has a really, really great Thanksgiving. You know, happy Thanksgiving to all of my viewers. I definitely appreciate you guys for checking out my videos, just commenting to me and writing to me. I hear all of you guys. I know a lot of people, they always ask me to talk in my videos, and then there's also a lot of people who want me to do the ASMR videos. So I'm trying to like do a combo of both. That way all of my viewers, they get to have exactly what they want. But other than that, thanks for watching, you guys.